why not give them a little bit more of an idea of what it's like to be a writer? So, you may have seen a lot of my posts about being a wellness advisor, about different topics about motherhood, maternal health, and childbirth, but I want to show you behind the scenes of being a book writer. Okay, and if you are watching live, please feel free to ask me questions, to comment. So go ahead and write whatever you like. Okay, so much to catch you up with. So you may have seen my other post where I mentioned that I have been attending Janique Seeley's 3 month, yes, 3 month masterclass series. It's part of her Book Genius. And the first month was on 30-day manuscript. So we wrote our rough draft of our manuscript, or actually, I'm still writing the rough draft, but I'm also editing too. So the second month was on marketing for book writers. And the third month, this month, is about editing and revision. So it has been a full summer, a full summer of writing, and I've really learned so much from Janique. Her pen name is Jane Allen. You may know her books. And she is such a warm, compassionate teacher. She gives so much. We have these Zoom lives. I think it's 3 times a month that we jump on for an hour call. Sometimes we go over, and she shares about what it is like to be a professional writer, to be writing fiction and nonfiction, to be working with an agent, the traditional publishing process, behind the scenes, everything. It's fantastic. So she gives us homework daily. So I have been very, very busy this summer working on the homework and also my writing. So, as I mentioned, I have been writing my book, my first book of a 3 book series. The first book, working title, is called Healing Childbirth. And it may surprise you. I think a lot of people think that the book is, well, I assume, I don't know. I think they think it is about my expertise and all the research that I have done on maternal health and childbirth. But really, the focus is the stories. It's about the stories. So you may have heard that I interviewed over 100 mothers and childbirth experts around the world to capture their candid, heartfelt stories. And so, in this series, the 3 book series, I will be sharing some of the stories. I will highlight some stories in each of the books. And so, it's a narrative nonfiction book. Okay, this may surprise you. I write in narrative nonfiction in third person limited point of view. Okay, some people call this close third. So that means I'm not writing as me, Christy. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm not an omniscient voice who knows everything about the story ahead of time. I write as if I am the character, the mother who I interviewed, and I share everything that she experienced. So it's third person point of view, and it shares her senses, her inner feelings, what was going on around her, her expectations, her fears. So you really get an inside scoop of her journey. So I'm very, very excited to share the book series. It has been a process, as you know, and as you know, I am pursuing traditional publishing. So that's why I was so interested to work with Janique Seeley this summer and to learn about marketing. So last month was about marketing for book writers, and it was fantastic. I learned so much. I still have a lot to process that she taught and to implement, but I have been learning so much. So, again, I wanted to emphasize that my book is a narrative nonfiction book. Yes, it is about health and wellness. Yes, it is about motherhood and the perinatal journey, but it's not a prescriptive book. It's not a how to book. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear. This is not how to give birth. This is not how to. It is really reading the stories and then gathering enough information. So if you would like to be a mother one day, then you can have enough information, enough understanding of what may possibly happen so you can prepare. So you are informed, so you empower yourself. Okay, you empower yourself to make the best decisions for you and for your baby. You will feel empowered through reading my book. You will feel empowered emotionally and physically. So I am like your ally. I am a compassionate ally along the journey as you read these stories. I help you understand the things that may be confusing or you may not understand. And I do use some of my research. Yes, I am a big researcher. I love to research. I love everything health. And now, of course, I love everything childbirth and maternal health. So I am a big nerd that way. So I have done a lot of research to give more of an understanding. And also, like I said, I've interviewed childbirth experts too. So I will bring in their expertise and their knowledge to also help you to understand. So, what else have I been going through or doing this summer? So, just again, I have been so focused on my book this summer, working with Janique Seeley, and I have been editing. So, I have been working on these stories, and they have developed so much. So much. And I love these stories. And there was one story you may have seen me post on Facebook or Instagram that I said, this story is a really hard story to write. And I don't know, well, I knew I could write it, but I had been pushing it to the side as the last story to write because I knew it would be so hard to write. But now I've written the story and I have gone back. Again, we're doing the editing portion this month, and it has grown so much that now it's one, I believe, one of the most interesting stories to read. So the story that was the hardest to write, now I believe is one of the most interesting stories to read. So if you are an author, if you are a writer, let me know if that resonates for you. Has there been a project? Has there been a story? Has there been a book that you've wanted to write that you're like, oh, this is so hard. I don't know. I don't know if I should write it right now. I will do other things later. Or maybe I'll just put this chapter aside until I'm really ready for this chapter. And then you work on it and you get into it and you're like, this chapter is so powerful. Like I knew I had to write it. I'm so glad that I wrote it. And now I believe it's going to help so many people. It's going to impact so many people because it's so powerful. So let me know if you relate to that. So also I want to say that I also did take or attend another workshop series with Amy McNee. So you may be familiar with her as well. She's also a best-selling author. She has written fiction and also nonfiction. I love her nonfiction book, We Need Your Art. Okay, it's a fantastic book on creativity, and she gave a workshop or two workshops over the weekend, and one was on social media building for da 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 artists, for creatives, and also the other one was about marketing for artists. And it was very interesting. She gave a lot of prompts for us to do, and there was one prompt that she gave to do to write, I believe it was write our book summary. So we wrote our book summary, and then we wrote it again from the perspective of our biggest fan, and or maybe it was a review of our book that we will release in the future. And it was so interesting to see the difference of me writing about my book and then imagining my biggest fan writing about my book. And I may share it. I really love it so much what came about. And I think it's so clear what the book is about. You know, we get a little bit in our heads as writers and we're like, oh, it's so deep and it's so hard to, narrow it down to a few sentences of a book summary. But when you think of your audience and just the little nuggets that they get out of it, it's so much clear what the book is about and how it will help others. So I may share that in one of my posts. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's anything you want to know behind the scenes. Also, I will share that I have recently updated my query letter. So, with traditional publishing, again, you have to secure an agent, sign with an agent before you sign with a traditional publisher. So, you write a query letter, basically pitching what you wish to write and for them to represent you. And so, I recently, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was a week ago, I can't really remember. But I had a meeting with an agent and she looked over my query letter and she gave some great advice. So now I have rewritten the query letter and I feel super good about that. And again, if you're a writer, you know we spent a lot of time on that one letter because it matters so much and you only get one chance with the agent when they see that query letter to get it right. So that feels very good that that is looking good. I'll look at my notes, see if there's anything else I wanted to let you know about behind the scenes, what I've been working on. Um, I think that's in a nutshell what I've been working on. But I will say, also, I did mention this on social media this morning. I get downloads. So, something that is very enjoyable for me as a writer is that I will wake up literally in the middle of the night. And I always have a piece of paper and a pencil, and I grab it and I write it down, whatever the thoughts are. Sometimes they are thoughts to finish a paragraph that I was working on, to flesh it out, or to give it clarity. Sometimes it's something to research, to look up, and it can be anything that comes up. So often up in the middle of the night writing, and sometimes I continue to write because then the ideas are flowing because there's nothing stopping. It's just flowing with those downloads. So a few nights ago, I had a download in the middle of the night, or maybe it was as soon as I woke up in the morning. And you're kind of still in that tired state, like, oh, a few more minutes and oh, I'll remember it later, but I know I will not remember it later. So I grabbed my piece of paper and my pencil and I wrote it down. And it was something that was very interesting. So I'll tell you, but I won't tell you what the actual download was. But I got a download. And again, this wasn't something that I read and I had forgotten about. This wasn't something that someone else had told me, but I got a download, which I believe was from Spirit giving to me because, I do channel. And it was saying one of the causes of preterm labor. And it was something I'd never heard anybody talk about. And so I feel chills right now. I feel that Spirit was giving me this information that I hadn't been able to find, but it wanted it to get far and wide to people. And I've been doing this research. It wanted it to be in one of my books. And so I will share this information. I did research this morning. And it was confirmed on PubMed that many researchers have already noticed this, but it's not something that's being talked about mainstream. It's not something that I hear OBGYNs talk about, or mothers talk about, or childbirth educators talk about. So it's something that I'm very thankful that this came to me and that I wrote it down and that I did the research. And that I did the research from a reputable source. Very, very important where you research because you can find everything online, but PubMed is a specific channel for researchers who are doing studies, who are actually trying to understand different things about health. And they put the funding in it, they put the time into it, and then they publish it. So this was very confirming. This was verifying that what I received as a download was, in fact, something that needs to come to light to the public. So I'm excited to share that with you. Again, I don't see any questions, but again, if you're watching the replay, you can still post underneath the video and ask questions. So with videos, I believe they are open to anyone commenting, not just my paid subscribers. So go ahead and leave your comment. And I believe I forgot to include a title. So this is all about behind the scenes. And I will let you know that I am looking for more podcast opportunities. So if you know of any health or motherhood podcast that you love, let me know. So let me know in the comments if there is a podcast on pregnancy, on childbirth, on postpartum, on maternal health and wellness, on holistic health and wellness, women's health that you would love to see me on. So I am looking for suggestions. If there is one that you know, or maybe you are a host and you would like to have me on, then please refer me or please invite me on. I am again looking for more podcast opportunities to spread the work that I'm doing with my book and my book series and being a speaker, all the topics that I have researched and I have understanding about. So I would love the opportunity. So again, post below, or you can send me a private message and let me know your ideas, your recommendations. And if you have not already, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. I am going to be doing more lives like this. I think it's fun. I think it's easy to get an idea of what I've been doing behind the scenes, or even, you know, out where you can see me. So it's much easier for me to do a live than to, type and then edit. That takes a little while. So I will be doing more lives, and I have, archives of all my past posts that you can go and see what I have posted already. I will be doing another paid, or for my paid subscribers, I will be doing another private Zoom call next month for paid subscribers of Substack. And these calls are very intimate. We talk about health and wellness. You can bring in your personal questions. You can bring in questions from different topics I have presented on Substack. You can present your own topic. I may be doing mini teachings. You can share your story. You can share a little bit about your childbirth. You can share about what's going on. And again, just ask a wellness advisor some questions. So this is a great opportunity. So I highly recommend it. It's only $5 per month or $50 per year. So it is a fantastic bargain. My lowest tier available to work with me and get some advice. All right, so thanks for watching today. Thanks for being a part of my community. And I will be doing more of these behind the scenes to let you know what I have been up to, so that you know all the different layers of what goes on being a writer. It's not just writing the book. It's so much more. It's taking these courses. It's joining other people's communities. It's talking to agents. It's revising your book, revising your query letter, doing research, waking up in the middle of the night with downloads. There is so much involved, and I do love it. But I wanted to let you know a little behind the scenes so you have a better understanding. So anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Connecticut. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. I hope you're enjoying your summer. And again, reach out if you have any questions. And again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my community. Bye for now.